Yes, everyone, welcome back to Gogomo Jaji Spiritual Channel. I just want to clarify something here. Between Bakone and Vhangone, what is the difference? There is no difference, okay? There is no difference between Bakone and Vhangone, okay? Don't find yourself confusing yourself about the two. The only difference is the language, okay? But while you will find them saying Bakone, it's either Mutio Kimupedi, all right. You will find that Mutio Kimupedi, or Kimulobedu, or Kimupula, all right. So they will never say Vhangone, but Bakone, okay. So it's very important to understand the clan that you actually come from, all right, because laba abakhulumayo bathi abanguni nabangonyana bayakhuluma amaZulu, amaXhosa, amaSwati sorry about that you name them. Et Bakone rena le Bakone bo maila lehlaka, rena le bo Bakone Manchiriholo, okay? So there are different types of Bakone, all right? So those are the difference. That is the only difference, but then it is actually one and the same thing. They are one and the same thing. The only difference is that the language differs. Abanye bayakhuluma, babanye bayabulela. Again, hey, babanye kima Zulu, kima Xhosa, kima ini. We have different cultures, we have different groups. Remember that when people were actually running away during those times, during the 1980s, should I say the 18th century, okay, up to the 19th. As they were running, there were different groups that were being formed right there, okay. So that's how the vendors were actually formed, Mapedi were actually formed, you know, amongst those groups of the Mpumalanga people. Different groups were actually formed also against you know, they divided, all right. Oh, kumalelo ke maZulu, ke maXhosa, ke maSwati, and when you check, it's almost one and the same thing. It's only here and there where they differ, okay, because they ended up not being in the same place, and there were different leaders right there, different kings, different chiefs right there, okay. Same applies Mapedi, Mapulana, Malubelu, it's only one intellect. It's only one. The only difference is here and there, just a bit. Lema vendor, you know, things and stuff like that. They just fall under one category, but then they are divided at some point. So it's very important to understand where you come from, your own clan, where you come from, whether umupedi, or umupulani, or umulobedu, or umutloboman. Even under those categories are different. They talk different languages, different intellects. There is some kind of like a difference right there. Same applies to Mazulu, Maxhosa, but Bakone. The difference is only that but it means the same thing. And then yeah, okay, that's one and the same thing. So don't confuse yourself for hey, 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 there are so different intellects. People divided themselves. They divided amongst themselves, but we are one, okay. There is no difference right there, okay. There are only different categories, and we can live under one roof, only to find that we don't cook in the same pot. That's exactly what I mean by that. But we are still using the same saying. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you here when it comes to Vhangone. Don't confuse yourself. It comes with the language that you're actually using. So it's only one and the same thing. Nothing has actually changed there, okay? All of them, they are the refugees that actually fled from one place to another. Exactly, okay? So hence all of them are being initiated and they're going to the river, most of them, okay? Simply because they are all from one place. They come from one place, and when they come this side, they end up dividing. Okay, I have my own people here and I'll be the leader. So that's how kings and queens were actually being created. So I am the leader of this group, and this group will use this kind of a language. That's how different languages were actually being promoted, or rather being created. But then that doesn't mean that we differ or we are different. We're actually one and the same people. We're actually one and the same group. We actually belong. There is no difference between us. It's only the language. And remember that languages are actually being created and they can grow day in and day out. There is no difference in that, okay? Every language was actually created by someone else. Exactly. You must get that straight. So don't be like, hey, Nakim Zulu, hey, Nakim Chakana, hey, or you call them Matsonga, sorry about that. Hey, Nakim Tsonga, hey, Nakim Pedi, hey, Nakim Pulana, hey, Nakim Ingimo. It's because of you belonged to that certain leader that actually created that kind of a language for you guys to follow. And you guys belonged to that certain leader that taught you how to narrate. Exactly. But then only to find that you are all from Zimbabwe. Exactly. You are all from this kind of a place. You ended up in this site and scattered. For some of you ended up there and there and there and there and there and there. Okay. So as we go forth, I'll be unpacking those type of tribal groups. We are having tribal groups whereby you will find that these tribal groups, they actually belong to one group. This tribal group, they're actually one and the same people. The only difference is that they had to divide themselves amongst themselves. You get what I'm saying? You know, they differ, but they're not necessarily different. They are the same. They had to divide themselves for some reasons, okay? So that's all that I wanted to clarify to you guys, all right? Until then, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button. All right, bye-bye.